Because I hear you're quite a good singer. Is that right?
Look, when you say good,
Yes.
I'm enthusiastic.
Right.
I enjoy singing, but no one else would describe me as good. Even I recognise that whilst I sing with enthusiasm, it is off-key, off-tempo, and really out of tune. So
Don't sell yourself short, Sal. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dan and the Doctor. As always, I've got the big fella to my right, Dan Repacholi, the member for Hunter, the man with the beard, the man with the pistol. He is absolutely exceptional, as we all know. And today we have a new guest, Sally Sitou, the member for Reid. Not Robertson, the member for Reid, one of Parliament's newest members and most fascinating members. She's a great local member.
most fascinating.
Who has a great story to tell. So thanks for coming on the show, Sal.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure you're here, Sally, and really, we've had, I think, 6 or 7 episodes now, and so you think we'd have a good run at this now and be understanding about what we're doing, but Gord and I still have got no bloody idea what we're doing. So we're just going to go through and hear a bit about your story, and then we'll dive deep into a few things about your life.
All right, sounds good.
So first question, Sal, are you enjoying Parliament?
Oh, I love it. How could I not love it when I have to share the halls with you two? It's pretty fun.
It's a narrow hallway when we're in it.
It is. But it's been great. It's been so much fun. And I think it almost feels like it's 3 roles in one. You got the stuff that we do here, the stuff we do in the electorate, and then there's the policies, the speeches, the door knocking. Yeah, it's awesome.
So is it, without saying the lines that you'd normally say on TV, what's the best part of the job when you're down here in Canberra? Apart from being with Dan and I, obviously.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, so we set that aside because that's truly the highlight.
It is, absolutely.
The thing I love about this place is how much you get to learn. Like, you've got all these experts from around the country and sometimes around the world about a particular topic, and they come and they give you a briefing, or they want to do a meeting, or there's a speech going on. And I feel like in this place you're constantly like, didn't know that? That's really cool. And yeah, meeting really amazing people.
That sounded like a line that you'd say on television.
No.
I'm not going to lie.
You've heard it a few times.
Okay. All the crazy sporting stuff that we get to do.
And what's your sport, Sal?
My sport of choice is basketball, which, given my height, is obvious.
Naturally, yeah.
Natural at basketball.
Yes.
And I do like occasionally playing football of both kind, touch and soccer. And sometimes the size disparity on all of those courts and fields is very apparent when I play against the big guy.
And you are a beast on the basketball court. There's no doubt about that. You have intimidation factor like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bit elbowy, fast.
So are you a bit
aggressive.
competitive, Sal?
Totally competitive.
Yeah?
Yeah, no skills, no height, no ability, no stamina, but totally competitive.
Nice.
Sounds like most of the people in this building.
Apt descriptions of many people who inhabit these offices.
Exactly right, yeah. So,
But there's that photo where I'm marking Dan.
Yes.
Right? And I think it's symbolic of the fact that, like, I just give it a go.
Good.
that's right.
I'm obviously way out of my league marking Dan on the basketball court, but I give it a go.
And you did a good job. You went hard. You did well. I don't think you scored over me that time. No. I was just a bit tall for you, but that's okay. Yeah, maybe soon I'll get back onto the basketball court.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
And I'll be able to have a bit of a run with you guys. I've just had a few other things on. So,
oh, yes.
Yes, I've just been making
what
sure I don't
have you
injure.
had going on?
That's okay. This isn't about me, so this is about
Okay.
you. So,
So you're confident, Sal? You're like getting out there and doing things sort of outside your comfort zone and that sort of thing? Is that,
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair to say.
Yeah.
And so my competitive edge applies on the sporting field as well as in the door-knocking field.
Right.
And Dr. Reid, Dr. Reid,
Yes.
I think you are not quite in the same league as me when it comes to door knocking.
So for all of the listeners out there, Sally and I have some of the most door-knocked areas of the country. We get out there and hit the doors and make sure we're talking to constituents. And Sally and I are often in a race for number one. And at the moment, she's just ahead of me.
I think I've been ahead of you every month this year.
Just ahead of me, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, we're talking about me when you talk about you, Sal.
Oh, yes, okay.
When you talk about you. So yeah, confident, like getting up and doing things, and because I hear you're quite a good singer. Is that right?
Look, when you say good,
Yes.
I'm enthusiastic.
Right.
I enjoy singing, but no one else would describe me as good.
Dan, let's explore this.
Yeah, let's go a little bit deeper into this. So I would imagine karaoke gets a bit of a run. And when do you go to the karaoke competitions?
Karaoke competition.
Yeah.
Or karaoke bars, or is this like something that happens in your electorate, or do you do it in Canberra? Under
Karaoke.
Never
karaoke
in
with
Canberra.
Sally.
There is no singing in Canberra except in the car.
Right.
Yes.
You
However,
could join the band.
Yes, left, right, out.
Left, right, out. Let's see how you go in the
Yeah.
band. That we could all hear your musical talents.
even I recognise that whilst I sing with enthusiasm, it is off key, off tempo, and really out of tune.
Don't sell yourself short, Sal. Now, if you had to pick one song, you're in front of a stadium full of thousands of people.
For sure.
What are you going to sing?
Aerosmith, I don't want to miss a thing because there's a screechy part.
Can you give us a bit of a...
No.
Come on, just a little bit.
No.
Nobody's watching this.
Nobody.
So nobody's watching or listening to this. So don't worry about that. I reckon you should just give us a little rundown.
No. That is definitely not something that should
So-
be caught on camera.
We'll be your backup singers.
Yeah.
We'll go real well. You just lead it and then we'll jump in along the way.
This was not part of the equation when I signed up for it. But look, I think what your listeners should know is that I would never subject that. Like I'm a good member of Parliament. I know what the people want. The people do not want
I
me
think the people want to hear
singing.
you sing.
I
think the people want to hear you
You should launch a poll.
Yeah.
And-
Right
Yeah, actually,
now,
let's do that.
should Sally Sitou be singing live on camera in a Dan and the Doctor
is
episode?
Everyone in the
awful.
room, put your hand up if you think Sally should be singing.
There's no one in the room. What are you talking
There's
about?
three of us. We win.
Oh, and
Two
the
versus one.
majority's happening. And that's democracy in action, people, right here in Parliament House.
That's how the Labor government works. One in, all in.
If I have to sing, you both have to prance around in tutus.
You give me a tutu that fits and I'll have a crack.
It's not a deal breaker. Oh dear. Now on to more serious topics.
Nice segue there.
Outside of yes, I know I'm the king of the segment.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your story, sort of growing up, and then before Parliament, and then getting into Parliament and the like? What's the Sally Sitou story?
The Sally Sitou story. Well, it mirrors some of the stories that many of the first-time MPs have in this place. Like you kind of don't realise that this is going to be a path. So it's all kind of by surprise. So I grew up in a part of Sydney, Cabramatta, and went to some really great public schools. My parents both worked in factory jobs and they worked really, really hard. And I remember, being a latchkey kid when I was 7 or 8, because they were both working so hard. So I had to go home on my own and let myself in and just look after myself. But it was incredible seeing how much my parents were able to succeed here, even though they were migrants, didn't really speak the language very well, didn't have formal education with skills where they could get good jobs. But in this country they could, because they worked in factories where they were both union members, they got good pay, and they gobbled up all the kind of overtime opportunities. And then within 5 years of arriving in this country, they were able to buy their first home, and they still live in that house today. And I think that story and seeing how much my parents benefited from the opportunities that this country gave them and the support that the unions gave them really made me think, there's something to this Labor Party that I really like. The values align with mine. So I joined the party when I was towards the end of uni, and then just kind of kept involved. And then the opportunity came up and I seized it. So I reckon really similar to the stories that you guys have.
And I remember you, because for those listening at home, Sally was the first first speech of the 47th Parliament.
yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
And it was a really powerful speech that you gave. And I know Dan and I were sitting there sort of very, very nervous that was the standard of speech that had to be delivered. So no, it was a wonderful speech. And I encourage people to go and listen to it because it was a remarkable way to begin the 47th Parliament and the Albanese government. It was quite the speech.
They were all great speeches. Like I think if you ever get the opportunity to, like, writing a first speech it's such a great exercise because you're forced to think about who you are, what you want to do. And like when there was a bit in yours where you were describing what it's like in an emergency room, and it was so powerful because I felt like I was there. Like I think you did it like during COVID, and then the patients that you saw, and I thought that was really cool. And then when you were describing, your role in the mines and the mates that you made, and like, yeah, I think they were all really powerful.
Yeah, they certainly were, but yours was the first, and I would probably say the best as well along the way. Don't waste your time with Gordon and mine.
No.
Just get straight to Sally's, and you'll have much better listening and viewing pleasure, I can tell you.
Outside
of Dan the Doctor, of course. Just keep going back and see some of our past catalogue as well. There's plenty going on there. And you studied. You said you joined the Labor Party when you were at the end of your uni.
Yeah.
And you studied psychology. Is that right?
I did.
Do you look at Gordon and I and think? Oof.
Are you psychoanalyzing us right now?
You just look at us going straight through them and going, no, I don't know why I'm here.
I think I look at the both of you and I say, what a great reflection of Australian society we have here.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a diplomatic answer. That is such a diplomatic answer, but I like it. We'll run with it, yes.
Oh, dear. Now, Sal, as you know, the big man and I love to eat. We are, I think, aficionados in that field. The wedge shred not going well. This is probably the 4th episode I've spoken about this, and the calorie count has only increased.
My girth tells me that I enjoy it.
Oh, it's good. It's something satisfying about putting food in my mouth. I got to tell you.
But
It's
you don't
about
like
living.
cake.
It's about no, I don't like cake.
Yeah.
No, but you're not a big cake fan either.
Yeah,
are
you're
you?
right,
You're
you're
not a
right.
massive fan of desserts either.
Nah, you're right,
I'm
yeah.
savoury all the way.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah,
on the
same,
savoury.
same,
Oh yeah.
So what's your food, Sal? What's like your number one, like, that's what I need to
Oh, it has to be a bowl of noodle soup.
Right.
And if you tell me what...
Maggi chicken noodle soup.
Oh my
no?
the
God.
barbecue ones too now,
Just
right?
they got barbecue, a couple other brands.
Little sachet, you little
Yeah.
put it in there, yeah. Little.
We're looking for some show sponsors, so we just chuck out a name here and there.
So now that you've just insulted Sally, I'm
Okay.
jealous
So
about
I
your
take it
little
it's not
soup.
Maggi noodles
Look,
then.
if you need to go instant noodles, don't go your Maggi, go your Shin Ramen.
Shin ramen.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
so
fancy.
that's the connoisseur brand of instant noodles.
Connoisseur.
A connoisseur.
And then you crack an egg in there.
Well, now
Oh,
we're getting
geez.
flash.
This is cooking.
Yes.
This is
You
cooking.
put a bit of spinach leaves in, and you got a well-rounded meal.
Well, so some people who are going to view this and listen to this may remember Sally and I have done many episodes of the long and the short of it, and we're just working on that a little bit to get that back and going, I'm sure. Maybe we could do a little noodle giving exercise in that one. I'll do my version of special noodles, you do your version of special noodles, and we'll see who tops it.
We could totally do... Do you know what we should do, though? So we should get a third-party judge
I can do
to
that.
come in and say which one's the better noodle.
I'll let you have food, Dan. Don't kill me.
Just depends on where things go later on this podcast as to where his loyalties will go. So I already know that his loyalties aren't with the hunter. But we'll
they
just
should
dive
be
into this a
with
little
Reid.
bit deeper, yes.
Given his name, they should be with Reid.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, sorry.
Yeah, nah.
Nah.
So noodles, yep, so talk us through the noodles.
All right, but you tell me which Asian country you're going to, and I will tell you the best bowl of noodle that they make. So if you were to go to Vietnam, you should have pho, pronounced pho, not pho.
Not pho.
Yes, good.
Yep.
And
Pho,
that's
pho, fo, fum. I've come to eat your beautiful
noodle.
noodles.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I was only
I didn't know where that was going. I was trying to think of I was trying to think of something quickly on the go. I was going to say ramen, but it wouldn't have worked.
Are you coming up with your own material now?
We try to. Yeah, we improvise a lot.
A lot. What about
Japan?
Yeah,
Japan, yeah.
Ramen.
Ramen.
Tonkatsu ramen is my favourite.
Korea.
Korea, you can do... Okay, Korea, you'd like this. They've got this thing called army stew. It's a hangover from when the US forces were still there.
Is there spam in it?
Yes.
Oh, bring it on.
See, I'm a spam and tomato sauce man myself.
Oh, you'll love it.
Well,
You love okay, because it also has baked beans.
Oh.
So it's...
is there anything that's got chicken from a can? Because Gordon's right into that. Yeah, I had the same look. It's disgusting.
It's good. It's nice. You should try it. You know what? When you do the noodle thing, I'll bring the chicken.
Don't.
Not
There's already spam. There's already spam in it.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted
Yeah,
those. So
no,
it's not
but
only a
there's-
meal, but it's an aperient.
Well,
So
don't be messing with your canned chicken. That seems like it could end in disaster.
no, it's fine. It lasts forever, mostly. Read the label. It's good. It's good, and it's got different flavours too. Like there's honey mustard. There's seawater. There's the seawater one.
Have
I can take a
you
lead.
made
Is
this
it-
for your future wife? Is this?
Oh yeah. Shirley's had it before. I'm sure, and she loves it. I'm sure she does.
I like how positive you are there.
There's a lot of silence.
We'll
there, people.
we'll get back to the show on this one and let you know, because I don't reckon Shirley would really love that at all.
Yeah, we should ask. We should fact check.
Yeah, we'll fact check that.
Fact check
That's
it.
it. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'll have to
for
call
sure.
her up during the show one day.
Yeah.
She'll love that, I'm sure.
China.
Oh, China. Well, I mean, depends on which part of China you go, right?
Okay.
So if you go to the northern part, they've got these hand-poured noodles, and they call it big chicken plate. Big chicken. Oh, you like this one? Big chicken plate, where it's a thick hand-poured noodles with potato and a gravy and a chicken. So if you go to the southern bits, they've got this kind of like braised beef noodle with like thinner noodles.
okay.
Yeah. So
Any chance you got any idea of what they might do in Munich?
Munich. Oh
In
yeah.
Germany?
They got spatzel.
Spatzel, yes. They do have
Spatzel.
spatzel, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Had
yeah.
spatzel before, lovely.
Spatzel's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Is that
very
what you're
good,
going to be
thank
on
you.
when you're there?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So I am making a dumplings of Reid tea towel. I could totally do a noodles of Reid
That's cool.
tea towel.
Look at
as
this.
That's
You've got these little things going everywhere for branches. You know what branches would love the most, I reckon? And back me up on this, branches, if you're listening. I think we should do a poll on this as well. And we really want Sally to sing.
Yeah.
Sing for her life. I think she could do Sally's karaoke.
And she could do a tour of the Hunter,
That's it.
Robertson,
She could come
and
up
her
to
own
all
branches.
the areas and just get the branches from all over
No.
New South Wales
Yeah.
there.
I think it'd be great.
It'd be like a state conference
On
gone
steroids,
crazy.
yeah.
Yes,
Exactly
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Sure,
and we could all
sure.
get up and blast out a tune.
I'm gonna get Mary Doyle to be my proxy on this one. She would definitely sing. She's the karaoke queen.
Is she?
Yeah, member for Aston, karaoke queen.
With some class behind the singing as well, or is it just
be her
belting it out
backup.
there? You'll be her backup.
Yeah, no, she's good.
Okay.
She's definitely and Cassandra Fernando.
Hey,
She's
Cass's a
really
good singer.
she's a
Yeah.
good singer. I'll be their backup. So if you get them,
We want to just hear you. We want to hear you belt out the screeching in.
Stephen Tyler.
Whilst we're on the food topic as well, and karaoke and all things Sally, I hear you used to do a little food tour business where you take people around and give them a food tour of the local area. Is that correct?
yes,
Yeah.
not a business, just a hobby for fun.
Just a hobby for fun.
Yeah.
That would
Tell
be a
us
great
more.
thing. You should tell us a bit on that, and we should get on this tour.
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I know we're all
Welcome
very busy
aboard.
people, but let's try and work out a time where we
Yes.
can actually do a food tour, because I enjoy food way more than
Thank
I
you.
should.
Thank
way
you, Daniel.
more. Yes.
Sorry, Sally. Elaborate.
Well, no, I could take you both on food tours, but bear in mind you have to be game. So there may be some things that are a bit out of the ordinary, and you just got to be game for it.
Like what?
I'll eat anything.
So we've got the chicken feet,
I love chicken.
we've got the offal,
Have you eaten chicken feet?
cow stomach.
I had the non-fried chicken feet.
Chicken feet are good.
Probably not my style, and then I found out Sally doesn't really like them either.
Oh, really?
Dan, I've got a secret for you. I don't actually eat these either.
You don't eat them. How come you made me eat them then? As she was
I love
talking them
them.
up, telling me how good they were
They are good.
for me to try them.
We should ask Milton to put him in the cafe here.
I don't reckon that'd be a big seller.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't reckon that.
I reckon
yeah.
they would.
It might get some other people off because the Korean fried chicken that's always there, that gets some good
I love
comments
Korean
around.
fried
that.
Oh,
It's
that is
delicious.
good. Yeah, that is
That's
good.
put 15 kilos on me, I reckon.
Well, I definitely have the best Korean fried chicken. We could do a Korean fried chicken tour of the electorate. So I've got some really good Korean fried chicken.
I think Jerome will probably have a contest.
No. Jerome got nothing on me. So
Okay.
And did you hear that, Jerome? You got nothing on Sally. You heard there's a bit of smackdown happening here.
You
so
and your head suit.
Yeah.
you keep looking after that head suit, and we'll
Yeah.
just keep backing you up on this end.
So, look, Jerome might have one or two good restaurants. Sure. I got whole suburbs of good food. So I can do multiple food tours because my electorate's that good when it comes to food. So I've got one for Burwood, I've got one for Lickham, and I've got one for Strathfield, and they're all different cuisines, and I've got one for Five Dock. So just let me know when you're in the electorate.
Sounds like a lot of eating.
Sounds like a lot of eating.
We could
Maybe
get a
post-wedding.
little minibus and get a few others around.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Why
Just
not?
go from venue to venue.
A food crawl,
And
if you
then
will.
see
food crawl, yeah.
food crawl, yes.
Yes. Followed by
Let's
a
see who
pub
can
crawl.
out-eat. Yeah, let's see who can out-eat each other.
And
You'll win.
Well, I have different versions of burgers as well.
Different versions of burgers.
Yeah, so there's a Chinese burger that you can have.
And what's on a Chinese? How does a Chinese burger work?
Okay, so
Is it? Can I guess? Can I just guess first?
Oh God.
Is it 2 prawn crackers with a bit of beef and black bean in between? I take that as a no.
I think there's a lot of
Entire food culture insulted in one state.
there's a lot of
I'm sorry to people who enjoy prawn crackers because I really like them too.
there's a lot of food education to be had here.
That was what I was hoping for anyway.
Yeah.
Anyone can sort me out with that, please hit me up.
But is it a bun?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
What
it's
is it?
bun.
Is it
It's
like,
a bun. It's a
like
bun. It's a baked bun, and then in the middle is like a braised pork. Yeah, and that's it with a great sauce, and that's
really?
it. Yeah.
Sounds all right.
So it'll be like a version of a pork and gravy roll, but just
Yeah.
done with a bit more flair.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
nice.
it's got all the spices. It's got like cumin, coriander, Sichuan pepper. Yeah.
Cool.
You did well.
I think I got all those spices. It's like the, KFC 7 herbs and spices. No one quite knows what's in. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think it's 11. I've heard a few.
Oh,
ads.
11. Oh.
I've heard a few at KFC ads, but anyway. Just going off memory anyway. Yeah.
But can you name them all? This is the problem.
Spices?
Yeah.
No one knows. We don't need to. You know all we need to know? It is
Just eat the
delicious.
chicken. Just eat the chicken out of the bucket.
But is it as good as the Korean fried?
Well, we don't know. You'll have to take us through it to give it a go.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. And then we could later on just get a piece of zinger fillet and just try that and see what we think about them all together.
Well, we've got to do a blind taste off, so you wouldn't know which is which.
Well, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, back to your work with the Labor Party,
Yes.
the grand old party that it is. You've done some work on some campaigns and some fairly high-profile campaigns, is that right?
yes,
Can you just enlighten the crowd as to who you helped unseat?
To the 2 listeners that you have.
Yes, to the 2 listeners. Both
Thank
of
you,
them watching at
thank you
home.
to the 2 listeners
Yes, like and
watching and
subscribe.
listening. We really appreciate you all.
Yes. The
But the-
thousands of
the
people
whole
listening
bit.
at home.
So I worked on the Maxine McHugh campaign in 2007 when she unseated John Howard in Bennelong. And that was the most amazing campaign to be part of. There was so much energy and excitement. And I remember there was like a election night party. And, most election night parties are... It's a bit of a party, but it's not got huge vibes. This felt like a rock concert. So we walked into this hall, this community hall, and it was so full of people because they were so excited. David Wenham was there, the actor from Sea Change. He gave me a big hug. And if
Sure remember.
David Wenham, you are watching this, please make another appearance on a Labor Party campaign.
preferably Sally's. Sally, I think, is calling out for a bit of help there, and you've worked with her once before. I think you could do it again.
I would welcome a great Australian actor like David Wenham working on my campaign. But there was so much excitement in there because it was the 2007 election, there was a mood for change and people were sick of the old government, and so it was a fantastic campaign to be involved in.
Good stuff. And what was your predominant role in that campaign?
I did a lot of the volunteer organising, and so it was so rewarding because I got to meet and there were so many volunteers on this campaign. I think in the end we had about 600 people work on it in like various forms. But I just remember there was this one guy, I think he was like 94 years old, and he would come in every so often. And I got to know all the volunteers, and he would come in every so often and he'd just take a bag of letterboxing that he'd do as his contribution. And I saw him at the election night party, and he came up to me and he gave me a big hug, and then he had tears in his eyes, and he said to me, he's like, Sally, I haven't got many years left to live, but for the rest of my life, I'm going to remember this night forever. And I love that man. He just wanted to do his bit to be part of it. And he was 94, letterboxing. He couldn't get through a lot of letterboxing, but he wanted to do he just wanted to say that he'd done everything he could to change the government. We just had so many volunteers like that who some people were driving from the Blue Mountains or Orange to come and volunteer for the day, or it was just the most amazing group of people who came together, and they were all driven by the same cause.
That's fantastic, and great work in the seat of Bennelong. And we've got another good Labor member now in Bennelong as well, Jerome Laxell. Some of you may remember him from about 3 podcasts ago. He spoke about his head suit, and he loves his head suit.
His head suit?
His hair.
He talks about his hair, so his looks. Yeah, all the whole podcast is pretty much about him talking about his looks. So,
are you going to get Sam Ray on?
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. Of course, Sam Ray is coming on. He'll walk in. His head will go first, and his body will just follow after a couple of minutes because he's got that big of a bonce on him. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can do with Sam Ray.
Sorry, Jesus. Oh, good Lord.
And if you haven't seen the episode or listened to the episode of the Jerome in it, just go back to our past catalogue and you'll be able to get straight onto that. Like and share and let your friends know about it too.
And Reid's hair.
Reid's hair, yeah. And really what you think about the comment head suit, because it sort of stuck and really went for a while there, but we're trying to walk away from it now.
We are. Yeah.
Now,
look, thank you so much, Sally, for being on the show today.
Thank you.
We've loved having you, and we're very excited to come up your way and have a few of the noodle varieties and get amongst the Chinese burger and dumplings and the chicken and everything. And I think I can see people in the crowd all wanting to come as well. So you'll get a bit of a party, a bit of a crowd there. And then we can all finish the night in karaoke, watching Sally sing.
We will, and we will give you a bit of an update on that. We will do a special Dan the Doctor karaoke version.
Ooh, yeah.
So bring that on.
He committed publicly.
Dan and the Doctor the musical.
Dan and the Doctor the musical. Cool, what's that going to look like?
It'll be rough.
It'll be rough.
Extremely rough. I'd imagine we'd have had a couple of tins by then as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We need to ask a question. Go. Sorry, we have one more question to ask.
You ask a question, and then this time it's my turn to talk up my area first, because you just railroaded me last time and just took control.
Well,
it was disgusting.
Sometimes you have to, Daniel.
Disgusting what you did in that last podcast.
Now, we ask this of every person. We ask this of every person who comes on the show. What is the better area? Is it basically a set of fields and mountains? Or is it the pristine beaches, the beautiful restaurants, the proximity to Sydney of the Central Coast? So, Central Coast versus Hunter. Sally, Sitou, what do you reckon?
I'm going to jump in here before you do, Sally, because he has just shafted me once again here. He really is not given the Hunter anything it deserves.
Here he
we
goes.
are a beautiful, beautiful area, thank you. Unlike where culture goes to die. But that's fine. We'll work that out another time. Which do you prefer? Where would you rather take your family to? The Central Coast or the amazing Hunter Valley? It's a beautiful place.
Oh, I mean, it depends what you're offering me here.
Well,
Beautiful beaches. You can sit and you can have a cocktail looking at the sunset. Maybe go for a stroll along Yamina Beach looking out at Lion Island. It's close to Sydney, so it's not too far away. You've got to travel like 9 hours to get to where he is. It's insane. Sometimes even by aircraft. It's wild.
I'm 45 minutes further up than the lovely Gordon here, who's just really shit-canning my whole area. But that's okay. We'll work on that. You could come to have some of the best restaurants in Australia. We've got 5 hatted restaurants, all within 10 minutes of each other, all in the middle of Pecolbin, right in the middle of the Hunter.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
We've got some of the world's best wineries, even been named world's best. So how can you go wrong with that? And so much to do for your kids as well. There's Hunter Valley Gardens, it's got adventure play there, there's everything, and that's it, just think of the children.
Yeah.
Think of the children while you're having a wine and relaxing back in the Hunter, enjoying life. You can have cocktails, there's really a lot going on. Goldfish Cocktail Bar, very, very nice establishment.
All right, Dan, she's heard enough. Sal, what is it going to be?
Time to decide?
Time to decide.
I think I've got to go to both, really.
She pulled an elbow.
That's disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, it's okay. I forgot we got Switzerland here. We'll work on this.
Well, look, we know she wants to go to the coast. That's right, big fella. Look, thank you all so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Sal. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Do you have anything you'd like to ask us before this ends, before we just shut it down? Gordon, It's like Gordon's going to go somewhere, but anyway. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's been your favourite moment in Parliament House, and what's been your favourite moment in the electorate in the 2 years that you've been in this role?
You go first.
Favourite moment in the electorate was going to Parade of the Stallions at Coolmore Horse Stud. That was amazing. Seeing the horses that they've got, they're just walking around and being showcased in front of everyone of what is on offer to put over fillies for the next coming year was amazing. That's probably the best one that I've been, as well as so many community events that you go to in your area. Like, there's too many to choose from, really. There really is. But that's one of the most memorable ones. Is that I did that when I was first elected, and it was quite cool. What about you?
So my one in the electorate, and then my one in this job.
Yeah.
So the one in the electorate, which I'm going to nerd out as a doctor here, was opening the urgent care centre. I know I keep harping on about that, but it is a new medical specialty in Australia. I don't think we realise that, and it's a new way that people can access healthcare, and I'm really excited about that.
That's great.
And to be a part of that process of creating that, and then opening a clinic and seeing it function, and that's been really, really exciting. So opening that clinic's been one of the best things that I've done within the electorate. And then in the job was delivering a speech and representing the government at the United Nations. I think
what was that
speech? That was up there. So it was the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, and that feeds into the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. And then I delivered the government's statement to that, what our policies were, and meeting with our sort of Kansas partners, so Canada, New Zealand, and the US, and being involved in those roundtables and meeting other sort of middle power countries as well. So Indonesia, Mexico, Chile, all those sort of places, and not only sort of speaking on behalf of the government and being able to sort of showcase the good work that we're doing as a new government, but sort of also having my sort of health background inputted into that. I think that's probably been one of the biggest highlights.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
That would have been very cool.
That was cool.
I definitely can't top that. But my best ones in the house here is when we get to do our 90-second statements and we get to talk about the amazing people and things that are happening in our local area.
Yeah,
like being able to do that, you get great buy-in from people who are in the chamber as well at the time. That's a great thing to be part of, and one thing I really, really enjoy.
Well, can I say the speech that you did about the bus crash in your electorate was just so emotional, and it was beautifully done.
Yeah, thank you.
And I was very moved by it.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah. Thank you. It was a tough thing to get up and speak about, and I really hope that nobody ever has to speak about that in this building again, something like that. So it was definitely a hard thing to do, but I was glad that I got to give that speech as well, and represent the people that were affected by that.
And all the support that you provided to those families.
Right. Yeah. So, no, it's an amazing place, this building, and we get to meet amazing people like yourself and many other members on all sides of politics. And so it's a great thing to be part of. And truly honoured to be part of it.
Yeah, privileged to serve with you both.
Excellent.
Privilege and an honour.
That was a little bit more political than usual.
Yeah, it was.
We might be actually getting better with it. Let's cut this quick.
All righty, everyone. Have a great time. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you,
guys.
Sally. Cheers, Gordon. Good as ever.
Always a pleasure.
Keep up the great work. Cheers, all.
I like that you've done something on camera too.
Let's do them all.
We're getting better. We're getting better.